Oh man, it's almost time. We don't got a lot of time, so I don't want to talk. If you're looking for any last minute bracket picks, this is the place to be. We're going to run through a bracket real quick in record time, 8 minutes until the start of round one at 12:15. I got my expert. I got my guy with me. Got BHumble here, man. We already know who we are. We already know what we want to do. If you don't know shit about picking brackets, this is the place to be. I mean, let's start at the top, man. We're going to the South Division. We're going to go right through into the Final Four, bro. So I hope you're ready. No questions or thoughts on the on Auburn, right? We're going on Auburn.
Congratulations to Alabama State winning the first playing game, heading to the main tournament bracket that will end shortly. Congratulations, though; they did a good job on getting there.
Yeah, real. Yeah, I believe it. All right, 8-9 is always an interesting matchup in the first round. I don't have my stats up about what that percentage is. Just like the 5-12 is always a good one for upset picks. But anything between Louisville and Creighton that you see any different, I think CBS does a pretty good job of kind of bringing up some analysis. Looks like the majority is going with Louisville, almost 50-50. I like to see who's, and this is a person who doesn't watch college football as much. I like to see who's coming in hot. It looks like Louisville is coming in hot in 9-1 in their last 10 versus Creighton. Big East versus ACC. Any thoughts on this, or are we going with Louisville?
No, no. Tell you the truth, no. I like Creighton here. They bring the
Nice.
size advantage here. This is one of the toss-up games, though. It's obviously a close line. Louisville's favored by 3.5. Even if we're looking at a betting side, I did take Creighton first half full game at the plus money. I do think there's an upset opportunity. Creighton is coming in pretty strong. My first upset will be a 9-8, and that'll be Creighton.
Okay. Who is this? Michigan and
Yep.
who is it?
Cal Irvin.
Oh,
Oh, Cal,
Cal.
Cal San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego. Yep.
This is a tricky game for Michigan, man. This is a real tricky game for Michigan. This could be an upset game here. I know
Five
Michigan
12.
is a 5-12 matchup. Cal brings a lot of experience to this game. So you get these lot of mid majors. You're getting a lot of guys that have been there for a long time. You're not getting a lot of one and dones. You're
Yeah.
getting more of the guys that are four-year, now 5 year, 6 year seniors that are sticking with programs. I think Michigan's a little bit hotter right now, playing in a tougher conference. I do have Michigan moving forward, but Cal San Diego will give them a fight.
All right, let's go with Michigan. All right, Texas A&M and BY. I'm sorry, Yale. I don't know what got
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
This is an interesting betting matchup. If you want to do Yale team total over first half, you can get that. Most likely, it'll be like 30 points. I think Yale will have opportunity to score the basketball. I think Texas A&M will just kind of be a little more experience within their conference of playing big games. They'll be able to kind of push through late in the game and win this game. I'd like Texas A&M to win.
All right. You go. You got to get you a partner that knows this shit, right? Because there's just so much information to dive
It
through.
is a
So
lot of teams, a lot of things you got
you
to.
won't see me really disagreeing or agreeing too much, but I like the conversation. I want to get it out. So just a FYI, if you don't know shit about NCAA, this is the video you should be watching for sure. All right, we all know about UNC, Ole Miss, but UNC is, I know UNC hasn't been doing that well this year. Is this going to be one of those matchups where it's just experience and under the big lights and UNC gets it done, or is Ole Miss going to move on here?
Ole Miss is tricky because they're feisty up at the perimeter. They guard well outside. They'll give UNC a little bit of trouble shooting the three ball, but man, UNC is coming in hot right now. They're
Mm.
seeing the goal really well right now. I really think UNC is going to kind of shock this tournament. They didn't have a good season. Give me UNC moving forward. I wouldn't be mad if you went Ole Miss. Being a better team and lacking on UNC, but I like UNC making a splash. You're always going to have a splash in a tournament. This could be UNC splash. They're 20. They didn't have a good season. 23-13, but
Yeah,
they're
no, they
coming in
didn't.
pretty. They're
Yeah,
coming in pretty hot.
not their
Uh,
typical season.
right.
UNC. Yeah,
They
they're
got a
usually
six
the top
year.
3 seed. You know what
They
I
got a.
mean? They're 11 seed.
They got a
Crazy.
6 year guard, Davis. Salute to Davis. Um, that's leading his team, and I think they're gonna make a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, what we got here?
This
Uh
is this should be
Iowa
Iowa
State,
State and
another mid major.
Lipcomb. I'm gonna go here. I don't know. I haven't seen too much of Lipcomb this year.
The
What I've
Cyclones.
heard, they're a team that's a little scrappy. I think Iowa State will be able to been strong and kind of clear this game pretty easily.
All right,
It's a
Marquette in
14.
New
It's a 14 and a
Mexico.
half point spread.
7-10's a little tricky too.
Yes, they are. This is a Friday game, right?
Yes.
So we're looking at. I just want to look at the spread really quickly. Marquette. I don't see them. Are they today? Is that today?
No, today's Thursday.
It's
Tomorrow.
Friday, 7:15. Why don't I see them? Oh shoot, I don't see them at all. But anyway, I have Marquette moving forward. Um, just this is just off strength of conferences and experience as far as
Mhm.
playing tougher matchups. Nothing really backing why I'm taking Marquette. I just think they're a better team at the moment.
So everybody, I see people jumping on. I'm gonna jump around here just to get these earlier games on before they.
It's only one early game. It's the Louisville Creighton. So if you want
Oh,
that one,
that is
that's
the only one. The 12-15. There's not
yep,
another. Okay. All right, we got it. Cool. All right, we can not take our time, but we can keep cooking. All
yep,
right. Was that Michigan State and another mid-major?
yeah. We can go right
Two
through
fifteen is
Michigan
tricky
State.
too, right? That
Not
two
this, not
fifteen.
not this matchup. Good job, Bryant, on making it to the tournament. Early
All right,
exit.
we get out of here. We'll just talk
We're-
about
Yeah,
they don't break that shit down. All right, let's take it back to the top. Creighton and Auburn.
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 Auburn is just too tough, man. They're just too tough outside, inside. Tough team. This one right here, give me Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M
Texas
pushing
A&M.
through. Yep,
Oops. Got.
I like Texas A&M here.
All right. So we go Texas A&M,
Yep.
and then Cyclones and Tar Heels.
This is when it gets to is if we win this first round, is this really where we're going? Is UNC going to push through? I think UNC is going to get hot, and I'm going to take UNC going to the Sweet 16.
Let's see. Oh, users picked 60%. Has picked Iowa State in this one. But
That'll
UNC,
be different, baby. It's always different that wins.
yeah. Michigan State and
Michigan
Marquette.
State. I'm going to go Michigan State.
Okay. All right. Now we to what? The 8? Elite
Yep.
8? Yep. Elite 8,
I'm gonna
Auburn.
go
And
Auburn, man. I got Auburn #1 seed going straight through. I think they learned their lesson losing that big. Was it losing the SEC championship to Tennessee, right? I think
yes.
they're going to come in. They're going to come in here having a season that they had, dominating all year, losing the SEC championship. You don't want to come out empty after having such a successful. I think they're going to come in strapped and ready to go. I got Auburn pretty much going to the Final Four.
All right. And then I'm assuming this is where the
This is where the
run
bus
starts for
stops.
UNC.
This is where the bus stops right here. We're going to
Yeah.
go Michigan State with the
Yeah.
1-2. Tom Izzo is going to have these boys ready to go. They're a highly efficient defensive team. I think they'll be able to slow down UNC at that moment. You have UNC, Michigan State here, the 1-2.
And then I think you already alluded to you got Auburn in the Final
Got
Four.
the 1 seed going to the Final Four.
Final
Yes,
Four.
sir.
All right. Let's go to the next bracket where Mr. Flag is hopefully somewhat healthy, but we're not sure. Duke and the Mount.
You don't even have to open up the information.
Yeah, okay,
We're going to
I'm
We're
sorry.
going to go on and go Duke. Mount had a good game. They opened up the 16 play-in. They did well. They look good. Congratulations to Mount. It stops. Unfortunately, your matchup is against Duke. Duke is just a powerhouse. They're going to move forward.
All right. What's that? Baylor and Mississippi State. Yeah.
Yep. Baylor's been up and down. They started this year, I want to say, in the top 5 in the rankings, I believe. Ended up a 9 seed. Very up and down season. I'm going to give them one win here against Mississippi State. Yeah, because I think they have the outside. They have this one guard that's really good, a young kid. I think he's a freshman. He can get to the rim. I think he's going to be a disruptive factor when it comes down to playing in big moments like this. It's actually probably a game you might want to see. This young guy is really good.
Yeah, I like to see when I look at brackets, and I'm by no means an expert, but I do like to see competition.
Sure.
And like with the Houston, now a little bit different, right? At Houston versus in Mississippi, a little bit different.
Yeah.
But you can tell where Mississippi State was a little bit more competitive, even though at home, versus Baylor. Pretty much. I don't know what that score was at the end there, but was Houston up at almost over double digits at one point in this game, and which I think they probably would be. So I personally probably would go Mississippi State here, just a guess, but yeah, let's go with they locked me out.
Yeah, because it's past 12:15.
It's past 12. Oh no, they didn't. There we go. There we go. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good. We good. We're gonna do it a different way. They locked me out here though. I can't go past the 64. Yeah, that sucks. All right, we'll still rock it though. Oregon and Liberty.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon. Oregon's
Yeah.
pretty tough, man. They got some size inside. Liberty, shaky, man. Every time I played them, they lost. They scarred me a little bit this year when I did put some action on Liberty. I'm gonna go Oregon here.
Okay. Are we even talking about Arizona?
Arizona, do you believe in Arizona or not? They end up getting a 4 seed. I think they did push through later in the season with some big wins. Um, Akron, man, they're a tough, tough team. This could be an upset alert here early on in the
Oh
first round.
wow.
Um, I'm not going to believe it though, but I wouldn't be surprised if Akron do upset Arizona here. It will be probably a big surprise. It's something
That'd
that
be
the
huge.
tournament needs. But I'm going to go with Arizona. Um, but Akron, I wouldn't be surprised if Akron upsets them. This is
Now,
probably one of the best games of today.
yeah, I remember hearing about VCU before. Like VCU's has some experience with some deep runs. So based on that in my head, I'm already thinking VCU here.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think this seed, whoever wins this game, is going to push through to the Sweet 16. I think this is really a toss up. This is about a 2 point spread, 1.5 point spread. Um, I love BYU. They do have an advantage in this game. They are playing in Denver, so they are playing in altitude.
Hmm.
Obviously, we know BYU plays in altitude, so that is the advantage. But VCU has about 6 players on that team that are like 5 year plus guys. So the experience can weigh heavy. They've been on a hot streak. I do want to, although I like BYU, I'm going to go VCU here just off experience. The advantage would be BYU because they're playing at altitude. Let's see how this game wraps out. But I do like VCU.
And for those watching, what we're going to do here is because the game's already started, right? Creighton up already up. Let's go.
Mhm.
We're going to do just the first round, and then we'll skip through to some of the more kind of tighter games and get to our our final four and then our championship. Just to FYI, because we can't pick anymore from here. So we'll maybe I should have did an auto pick and then we could have broke down the games, but it's all good. All right. Wisconsin and Montana.
Yeah, give me Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a tough team. They can score the basketball at
Mm.
will. I think that'll be a little too much for Montana. They'll be able to kind of spread the floor and get to the rim.
Are they big kind of what you would think in kind of Wisconsin Big Ten ball? Yeah.
No, they more spread scoring,
Okay.
open up the court. They're a little bit more in a faster pace. Wisconsin is. I think they
And
average
then
close to like 80 points a game. That's really not really Big Ten basketball, but they
yeah,
they
that's how I was thinking about kind of
mhm.
old school Wisconsin ball. Vanderbilt and don't know what that is. Mary,
Oh, St.
California.
Mary's. Yeah, this
Oh,
St.
St.
Mary's.
Mary.
This
Oh,
big St.
St.
Mary's
Mary's. Oh,
team.
okay.
Yeah, St. Mary's out there. They stay in the same conference as Gonzaga. They actually won. I think they won the Horizon. No, did Gonzaga win? I think Gonzaga won. Vanderbilt man has some good wins under their belt. This is a tricky game. I think this is a coin flip.
Hmm.
But as of late, it looks like Vandy has been slowing down. I would go with St. Mary's. Some big wins for St. Mary's. This is tricky. I'm gonna close my eyes and say St. Mary's.
All right. I think I would go Vandy here.
Okay,
I just feel like I got to be part of the conversation, so I'm gonna pick my pick.
sure.
Was that Robert Morris?
That is Robert Morris. They call
Okay,
it what? Bobby Mo or
Bobby
something
Mo.
crazy.
Yeah, I almost went to
Bobby
Robert
Mo.
Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. Congratulations, Robert Morris.
yeah, you got Bama.
You got Bama, and Bama's they
Tough.
they average 90. So
Yeah, Bama's
good
tough.
luck. Good luck on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Shouldn't be the
All right.
person.
I'm not even going to talk about Florida. We already know how tough they are.
Hmm.
Um, I think this was an interesting one. Oklahoma and UConn. I think.
Yeah,
I feel like
it has.
Oklahoma's a little bit better than what people think. Maybe.
I agree. I do
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
Um, you don't know what you're going to get from UConn. So if you want to go with just experience of what they've been back to back champions, who's going to show up on the court this year? Are you going to just respect them and push them forward? But I don't think they go no further than this. So
Mhm.
in neither team, so I don't think it impacts your bracket. So this would be a coin flip, and we can just say we'll take a loss or we'll take a win.
Okay.
I'll go UConn here just because of experience in this moment, but this is where the bus stops.
Now the 5-12.
Yep,
Memphis
We're gonna
in
go
Colorado.
Memphis here. I'm gonna
Okay,
always
so
support Penny Hardaway there in Memphis. What he's been doing.
I forgot he was out there.
Sure, 29-5 record. Weak conference, but they handle their business. This is my biggest sleeper of the tournament. Maryland. I
GCU?
love Maryland.
Oh, I was about
Hell,
to say what?
hell no, hell no.
In the whack.
Yeah, I like Maryland, man. Maryland has a great team. There's some big young guys on that team. This guy, Queen, he gets after it inside, can spread the court from the outside. Then they have a couple guys that can rebound. Give me Maryland right there. I think Maryland's gonna make a deep run here. I got them going far in a couple of my
Nice.
rankings.
Mizzou, and that's Drake.
Yeah, Missouri's gonna be a little too much for Drake. I know Drake's had a
Yeah.
great season, 30-3, but Drake is Drake. Step big, getting up in bigger competition is gonna be a little tough. Give me Mizzou here. I think they're like a 7-point favorite too.
Texas Tech, and I'm not sure. That's a new one for me. UNCW.
North Carolina Wilmington. Yeah. So
Ah,
it's North Carolina Wilmington. They've I think they've made the tournament multiple times. Texas Tech started off pretty strong. They kind of faded out a
fell
little
off.
bit later on.
Yep.
I still think their conference Big 12 is pretty tough. Give me Texas Tech here. Those wins are just against bad teams.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, they played some competition. They played Houston, right?
Give me North Carolina.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. They had
yeah,
some competition for
yeah. They
sure.
played. They played some. So they're ready for the big game.
Mhm.
All right, Kansas, Arkansas.
I like Arkansas here. Um,
Ooh.
Yeah, I like Arkansas here. I'm gonna go with Calipari. For some reason, Calipari gets his guys up and ready to go during tournament time. I think they've jumped. Arkansas has looked good later in the season. They did early in the season.
Hmm.
You got a couple of local guys, DJ Wagner there from Camden. He's at Arkansas now. And Kansas just hasn't looked good all season long. They haven't looked good in their conference tournament. They just don't look good. And I think Arkansas is going to be able to put that pressure on them and move forward in the next game.
All right.
Then you have the Johnnies.
I about to say we already know about Rick Pitino
Johnny's
here.
moving forward, and Rick, man. If you ever look at Rick Pitino's record, what he does with programs from year one to year two, it's extraordinary. Rick is one of the best coaches of all time, and he will be championed that title. Hopefully, he can kind of make a deep run here and give it an opportunity for a championship.
We know how good Houston is. No need to
Yeah,
go there. I'm thinking you don't have
it's
much
a tricky
here.
one, man.
Tricky. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia wins this game. This is going to be a good game to watch. It's an 8-9 matchup. I think they match up well. Georgia's very aggressive. They attack the rim as far as getting rebounds.
Hmm.
Gonzaga's up and down. I will just give Gonzaga the little bit of leeway here because of the experience at the guard play. Napier is still there. You also got a couple cats from this side. The cat from Temple transferred over there a couple times. So I will give Gonzaga an opportunity here to move past Georgia, but I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia wins this game.
All right. 5-12 matchup. Any issues with this?
Clemson.
Clemson.
McNeese State has a local kid from Philly. I think Copeland is at McNeese State, number 11. Check him out. He's on a big dance this year. I think he's a
Uh,
transfer from Syracuse.
Purdue and High Point. Purdue.
Um, this is a close game. I think the line is not that big either. Purdue should push forward. High Point. Now, this is an upset. This is one game upset you can get. Will Purdue show up today? They should. High Point can play basketball really well. I'm gonna move Purdue because of the experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if High Point upsets Purdue here.
Yeah. And last games, right? One throw. I always like to do that. Radford and then Radford. Oh, this yeah, for High Point. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Purdue. Holla at Purdue. Illinois and Xavier.
Xavier's been hot. Illinois has got a little time to rest though. I do think the bus stops here for Xavier. They squeaked out the win against Texas last night. They were down 13 late in the second half and was able to come back through bad coaching of Texas. Illinois is a little bit different. They play strong defense. I
So
like
like
Illinois here.
first half Illinois bet with the fresh legs.
Yeah, you could. I mean, they both get a day off. Xavier has a day off today.
Mhm.
Illinois have a couple of days off, but I just like Illinois, man. Let's go Illini.
All right. Kentucky
Kentucky
and
moves forward.
yep.
This is probably the only game they're going to get stopped the next round
So
potentially.
UCLA and Utah State.
UCLA. Utah State, great season. They are tough. UCLA's been playing well late in the season. I just like UCLA here. Utah State could give them a fight
And
though.
then no issues with Tennessee in this 2-5
Tennessee's gonna
matchup.
move
Huh?
forward, and
All right.
they've been hot. They're a hot team coming in.
All right. So we only can got to the South matchup to get to the Final Four. Let's just do any big games in the East or big matchups that you see, and then give your Final Four or well, your bracket winner for the East.
The East. So we're gonna go Duke here. I got Duke playing. Can you go down? I got Duke going against
Oregon.
Arizona here. I do
Arizona.
have Arizona pushing forward, not because of the typical Arizona game. I just think they'll be fighting a little bit better than Oregon. It'll be Duke, Arizona. Duke moves forward into the Final Four.
Okay. And then down in the West, is it a runaway train with Florida, or is Florida going to get some resistance if it sees
So
St.
I
John's?
think I think the Johnny's in Florida. I got them mixed. I got one bracket Florida moving. I got one bracket St. John's moving. I think they're both are the toughest, and I also got one bracket Maryland winning.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it's just depending on what kind of bracket you want to have. I think in this region, I think is it going to be Florida, St. John's, or Maryland? Maryland is my sleeper though.
All right. And then going down to the Midwest, um, I'm not sure if anybody can get in Houston's way. Maybe Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. I mean, I think it's going to be between those two. I do have Houston moving forward. I like Houston as a basketball team. I like how they're coached, and I
Mhm.
like how they play. They play aggressive. They attack the rim. They rebound the basketball. They're not selfish. They share the ball, and they all can score. But Tennessee just a hot train right now. They're playing really well. Their fans follow, so it's a packed stadium, so they get a lot of excitement. But so it's going to be for me. It's going to be Tennessee or Houston moving forward.
All right. So, and you're for the top, the East and South are pretty set, right? Auburn and Duke.
Auburn, Duke, and if you go up to the, can you go up one more time to the other group?
Which one?
Who can potentially upset somebody? Maybe who's at Alabama
Where you looking? On the right?
down, down,
Down.
down.
Bama
Yeah,
and
Alabama.
Vandy.
Yeah, but I think Duke's going to be there. I mean, by that time, Cooper Flag should be back. So Duke, yeah, Duke should be outright winner.
Is
Duke
he
and
playing in the game tomorrow?
I doubt it. I doubt he will, but he might show up.
Right. Okay.
I wouldn't waste him there.
All right. And then in our Final Four, you got Auburn, Duke. We can say Houston, and then a mixed bag of St. Johnny's, Maryland, and Florida. Who do you have consensusly as your championship game?
Um,
Would you say? I
Florida's the
don't think
deepest.
Duke gets to the
Florida's
championship. I think the flag injury hurts.
Florida. Florida is my consensus
Winner.
champion
Okay.
because they're so deep as far as on the bench. They hit you at many different waves. I really love Auburn though, so I have Auburn winning in one. I have Florida winning in one. My upset play is Maryland winning,
Woo.
and um, but I don't have Duke winning the championship. I do have Duke
Yeah, I
in
don't have Duke
some of
either.
the finals though.
Yeah, I don't have them making to the
Duke is
final.
really tough because they defend. They have multiple scores. It's not just Cooper Flag. Um, I think people get flooded that it's just Cooper Flag, and then once he's done, he's done. No, they have multiple scores at that score at 17 points, 18, 16, 17 points a night.
Yeah.
So Cooper is just one of amongst. He just unique.
I'm about to say
But
he's just the best player in the league, right?
correct, correct.
Right.
Well, besides Auburn's player, I can't think of his name, Grimes. But
Is
I would go Duke
yeah.
in the final. I would get Duke in the final because Duke will end up playing Tennessee, and it would depend on how Tennessee shows up. So, yep.
You have anything on this first round, betting wise?
Well, yeah, I got Creighton in the first half. I told you first half I got them +2, and I got
Yeah.
Creighton in the full game +3. Can you scroll down? I haven't really gotten to the next games. Oh, as a matter of fact, I can just look it up on my phone as far as what's coming up next. I got a couple parlays. I do like Houston to cover the 28.5. I mean, Houston to cover the 28.5 at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
I might even have Auburn, and this is the tip. Wait, sometimes you want to do second half bets. You might get a better number. Like for instance, say Houston goes up, I don't know, 40-28 in the first half. And then if that second half line is still -10, take the second half line -10. And you'll be able to kind of still see how the second half of teams kind of still blow out that the lower seeds.
Yeah.
So that's just a little tip for guys. 10 or more. So even if you get to 9, -9 in the second half or more, go that route.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is the quick bracket that we just did. So if you don't know shit about the bracket, my guy BHumble just ran through it. Pause in the bracket. To get us all the way to the Final Four. We had to do it real quick here before the game started off. So, make sure you guys just rewind. At this point, you can't put anything else in terms of brackets, but we just wanted to run through a quick bracket. So that's the show for today. Thanks everybody who jumped on real quick just to listen to us go through the bracket real quick. We will catch you guys next week for some more kind of re-ramp of where we are from the March Madness and see what our bracket looks like. So
yeah,
we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining. This is Moss Money. That's BHumble.